Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Archa, Badash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopefully elect, his brother Araki, coming back with a lesson, and that is from YouTube channel High Clavero. Okay, it's fair use. China lives in 2049 and nobody's talking about it, so brother Gamar sent this video a couple of days back, and I'm gonna go through it because you're gonna see in China, man, they're ready for Karagma. Okay, completely ready for it. So let's listen on, man. Okay.
Nowadays, it's clear that China is ahead of its time. Huge cities like the one behind me have emerged from nothing, showcasing a technological leap that signifies a new era.
And normally this dude speaking in Spanish, but I got the audio track option as English, so now it's English. But yeah.
All of this has taken place within a span of just 30 years. In today's episode 7 of this series, we will delve into the grim truth of why China is, in fact, living in the year 2049. Aside from the few things we receive on social media about what happens here, when you touch down in any big city in China, it becomes evident that their technological advancements are unmatched globally. As an example, China holds 66% of the global high-speed train network. The infrastructure here shows up any Western country. In China, they use WeChat, a multifunctional tool similar to a Swiss Army knife, but for digital services. A bit strange, but to help you understand, it serves as messaging like WhatsApp, calls, video calls, social networking, booking services like doctor appointments, paying fines, renewing documents. Companies manage work hours through WeChat, school communications via WeChat, or one of its most important functions, payments. It's been a while since cash is no more used in China. Everything is...
Wait a minute. You know? Hey, they got the WeChat for everything, man. So you got all centralized in one app. Okay. So they don't, you know, instead of having Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all the Twitch, they have WeChat, and within WeChat you have everything. Also payments. You see? Listen what he says about cash.
Documents. Companies manage work hours through WeChat, school communications via WeChat, or one of its most important functions, payments. It's been a while since cash is no more used in China. Everything is done via WeChat, without even physical cards, just using a mobile QR code. Or you can have your own QR or the service. We're talking about...
No, so they... Hey, over here in Europe, we use cards, man. You know, some people, they pay with their phones. You know, they got their bank account in their phones. But I would say mostly people pay with their physical bank cards. Okay, with their debit or credit cards. And so in China, they just got the WeChat QR codes with the phones. So each and every single brother who's in this truth can see how close this is to the Revelation 13 and 16. Now, if you're in the world or if you're not in the know of what's going on as far as the mark of the beast is concerned, maybe this would not be as apparent, but hey, the brothers that are in the know, hey, you know exactly what's going on here. You know exactly what's going on here, man. So, you know, as the elders and apostles been saying, you know, China is pretty much a testing ground for all of these new ideas. Okay, and we're gonna listen a little bit more because it's gonna go into the plans of China, you know, wanting to take over and be that world police, but all that is heat and raging. Okay, you know, them, you know, why do the heat and rage? Them not understanding that they're gonna all end up under us Israelites. Okay.
Transport, shops, and rent payments all via WeChat. To clarify, check this out.
Thank you. 谢谢.
As you can see, even a vendor who would sell this illegally anywhere else, I purchased this fan via WeChat.
So even what you buy in the street from a street vendor is done via WeChat. And as he's gonna mention, everything about WeChat is being monitored by the government. So that's fucking total control, man, pretty much. So hey, in China, in a big city, without WeChat, pretty much you fucking you threw, hey, then you're already under the, man, you cannot fucking do anything. If everything is done via WeChat, let's say you want to be someone who is, don't want to be that much, with the technological machines and whatnot. So pretty much you would have to move to a tiny, small village. I guess there it might be okay, but they're living in these big cities, man, is a wrap, okay?
And it not only blows air, but also lights up. This small shop in the neighborhood accepts only WeChat and Alipay. Even this street vendor does the same. Look, WeChat. China has built the largest surveillance system in the whole world. We are talking about 700 million surveillance cameras all over China. You can't walk across a street without being seen by thousands of cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But anyway, on a main street, you feel eyes on you everywhere. All of this happens within just 10 meters, and it doesn't stop there. These cameras are not...
So you see, China, that's pretty much, open air prison, man. Open air CC. That's living in a big city like, yeah, it's in Europe is big cities, yeah, they are equipped with video surveillance, but that's a whole new level, man. And he's not even in Shanghai, the city he was in. I believe it said it in the intro, it was something like Qingchun, something like this. No, it says it here, Chongqing, okay? So you see how close because you can say that, yeah, you have WeChat on your phone, but what if you lose it? You're gonna need a charagma, you're gonna need that C to the H to the I to the P. So then you constantly at all times going to be connected. So China is ready, man. That's what I'm gonna title it. China is ready for MOTB.
Not only for post-crime surveillance. All these cameras are connected to a single system called Skynet. Yes, like in Terminator, aimed at achieving total real-time surveillance. These cameras are equipped with facial recognition. They can identify anyone, even if they are wearing a mask. And they even recognize your walking style. This is complemented by a police artificial intelligence that analyzes people's behavior. In other words, if you stand still for too long, enter a sensitive area, or cross paths with someone under surveillance, an automatic alert is triggered. Moreover, apps like WeChat, which we've talked about, are under state surveillance, meaning every transaction and chat is monitored. Every action taken...
So, you wanna chat? I mean... But you see this, so you see how this world is whack, And of course it's the same with WhatsApp and the text messages. They say in WhatsApp so-called encrypted and whatnot that WhatsApp cannot see. That's bullshit, man. They monitoring the messages, man. Okay? So let's just keep it 100 there. But... And it's pretty much the same here. But it seems there is no cash. It seems China is based on this video, is pretty much a cashless society already. At least the big cities, okay? Because at least in Europe you're still able to use cash, and also in Babylon, okay? You're able to use cash. So that's not being tracked in that level, but if you use a bank card, yeah, sure. But what's the difference that China just concentrated everything under WeChat pretty much, and in Europe is in you know, different things. Okay, different apps and you know, bank accounts and stuff like that. You see?
In this system is stored and watched by the state. Have you ever experienced that sensation of believing you're doing something wrong? And when a police car drives by, you immediately cease? In China, this feeling is a constant obligation. While you might notice significantly fewer police officers than normal, the truth is that the police represent a system centralized in a control hub that oversees everything. Thanks to these new policies, crime rates have dropped by 60% over the past 2 decades. Consequently, China is now one of the safest nations globally, and it has also witnessed the most remarkable economic growth ever recorded. To put it in perspective, 30 years ago, 66% of China's population was below the poverty threshold, but by 2020, this figure dropped to just 1%. With these measures we will discuss today, the state rescued hundreds of millions from poverty. It's truly astonishing.
Let's just go to the description. You know, the ads. The ads. I'm gonna get one scripture. Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? So China thinks that they next up. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers they counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So these other nations are undermining the fact, you know, they're underestimating us Israelites as the next power. So they got another thing coming for them, you know, Yahushua gonna arrive. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he come to them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. You see? Hey, this is the thing, man. So, they're gonna be under us, man. Okay? Yahushua gonna establish his kingdom. So all of these things, this is why it said that they are imagining a vain thing. What they're doing is vanity, because it's just, let's say you're building, you know, Lego blocks. There's different levels of them. Let's say it's a, you know, mediocre to hard one, which takes 1 week of building. Every night you do it 2 hours. But you are being said that the moment you complete it, there is someone who's gonna come into your house and gonna smash that Lego castle that you built for 1 week, and it's gonna go to fucking pieces. So wouldn't it be a fucking vain thing to build it? Here it is in your mind, you wanna build it and have it up, and you know, have that people admire it and you know, take pleasure in it and look at it, you know, every once in a while. But the moment you get to build it, it's gonna be fucking destroyed. So it's vain. You're building it for nothing. You might say, yeah, I enjoyed the process of building, but yeah, it's vain because it's gonna lead to nothing. It's meaningless. So, especially, you know, after you're gonna be taken to slavery for 1,000 years, which is the destiny of these heathen nations. So what they are doing is vanity. Of course, they are being, you know, inspired by the Most High, but it's going to come to naught, you know. As Gamaliel said, you know, hey, the Most High is not on the right hand side backing them up, so what they're going to, you know, what they are coming up with is going to come to naught. Now what we are building through Yahushua, you know, the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, following the word of the scriptures, this is something that is meaningful. Okay, this is something that is not going to come to naught because it's backed by the right hand side of Yahushua. You see? I will declare the decree the Lord Yahweh has said unto me, Tower my son, this day have I begotten thee. Okay? Yahweh is the son, man. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So Yahweh and us, according to Romans 8, is it verse 17? You know, we are joint heirs with Yahweh. So we're also going to receive the heathen for our possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. So, you know, this heathen and doing all these things, building all these, you know, huge technological cities, making all of these plans, it's all gonna come to naught. Okay? But hey, China is ready for MOTB, man. Matter of fact, the whole world is ready. You know, even here in Europe, you already have the payment by debit card. You know, just replace it with the Karagma, and there we go. Okay, so let's watch, be vigilant. You know, sharp. Let's you know, stay prayed up. You know, following the news. And things are moving. You know, what we're waiting for is the implementation of this CHIP. You know, we're waiting for a decree, just like it was in the time of the COVID-19. They pushed the boxing shot or the boxing left jab from the orthodox stance. You know, just having fun with it. Or the boxing right jab from the southpaw stance. Just like that, they're gonna push the Karagma, but even harder. Okay, so they're gonna make that decree that without it, you're not gonna be able to do all of those things as it lists in Revelation 13. You know, buy, sell. You know, and that takes you out of the system completely. Okay, and when that happens, you know, we are very, very close for Yahushua arriving and setting up the kingdom of Yasharala. So Lord, during this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all praise, glory, and highest honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushua Bahasham, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and pastors of Great Millstone and Shalom, the hopeful elect. Shalom.